Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Vegas All Net Radio, right here, live from Las Vegas. You got it. You want to get set back and ready to go. You why? It's Thursday night. It's 7 o'clock Pacific time. That means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. Without any further ado, let's bring on the host of the shows, Mr. Aaron Phillips, Ricky the Cash Man himself, and John JPEG Styles, yours truly, the Bobcat. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Mr. Bobcat. Thank you so much. Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash will be calling in from the Cash compound here momentarily. John JPEG Styles in the studio on the buttons. And as Bobcat said, he is here with us as well. Last week we had to take the week off. Little illness was getting through the crew, but we're glad to be back in studio. It's the first time I'm in studio in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I this is Vegas Unwrapped, right?
This is Vegas Unwrapped. It's not Stars.
All right.
John's had to host Stars on VNR the last couple of weeks on his own, and he's done a great job with those.
Hey, that Bill Miller was a kick-ass guest, man.
Yeah, he was. He was good.
You just ask him a question and let him go.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Those are always the best guests.
Yep.
But we want to thank you for tuning in tonight, the pre-Halloween edition of Vegas Unwrapped here on Vegas All Net Radio. By the way,
wouldn't this be the Halloween edition? Because we ain't going to be on.
We're not going to be on Halloween. No, we're not. So it's kind of the pre-edition since we're before Halloween. But we got a lot going on tonight. We have a great show lined up. Elizabeth Jones, the widow of Deacon Jones, a former Rams football player, will be in studio to talk about the Deacon Jones Foundation and all that they are doing to help support those in the community. In the second hour, we have Andi Graham. She is the owner, general manager of Legacy Home Care. She'll be joining us talking about the services that they provide to those in need. We have Doing It with Styles.
We do?
We have Doing It with Style. Well, it's on the schedule, so I assume we do. Unwrapped Treasures to talk about what's going on this weekend, weird news. And you, of course, the listener, you can give us a call at 702-483-4444. Without further ado, calling in from the Cash compound is Mr. Ricky Cash himself on the mend from his knee surgery. He's told me earlier today, JPEG, that he has turned the corner, and he's making fabulous progress because you know what? He's got to be back in studio next month because we're lining up some special guests to welcome him back. So, partner, you've got to be back in studio at least by November 12th.
There's no question about it. If I'm not back there by November 12th, I'll probably shoot myself.
We'll be reading about you in the obituary section, huh?
I'm serious. No, there's just so much time you can spend in the recliner.
I'd like to give it a shot.
Yeah, really.
Listen, from what's been going on out there, I don't know if I want to take your place.
I think given an opportunity right now, he wouldn't blame you either at this point, that's for sure. So let's give our listening audience, your fans, the Ricky Cash Fan Club fans, an update on your recovery there, sir.
Well, you know, it's interesting, and I don't think I really had a full appreciation of what some of the people said this was going to be like. I thought this was a 3-4 week recovery and back to normalcy. Well, it's more like a 3-4 month recovery, and then you're not quite normal for at least 9 months to a year.
Yeah, but you haven't been normal for 20 years or more.
That's a typical John Styles remark.
Is that why you haven't been returning my calls?
Well, you know, it's not that I don't return calls, but when I lost my phone, that's a long story.
Okay.
Anyway, you call again, John.
All right.
I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
Okay, all right. You hurt my feelings, yeah. I thought you didn't love me anymore, man.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
So you're still doing therapy 3 times a week, is that correct?
The guy comes by, and it's interesting. It's not like, you know, when you go to therapy, they put you through all the tests and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas at home therapy, it's more like it's almost like reporting. They're really following up to see if you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing at home. In other words, we don't go through a whole big routine to see how much I could sweat. He goes through a routine to see if there's improvement from the last time he was there.
Right, because I'm sure in between sessions, you're supposed to be doing stuff on your own.
Right, you're supposed to be doing your homework, dude.
At least 3 times a day.
Well, the
and
question.
You know what? If you don't, he knows you're not.
Yeah.
Well, so if they were grading your performance, how are you grading out right now?
Well, as I told you a little while ago, if you break this up into a football game, it's like 4 quarters. And unfortunately, in the first quarter, was so discouraging because there was literally no improvement as far as I could see. And that's not only discouraging, it's damn depressing. So I was a little taken back by that, probably because I had higher expectations, not only of the recovery process, but my own ability to do what I needed to do to get better. But it didn't happen, so I was pretty down on it. But it's like everything else. It takes time. So the second quarter happened when I woke up one day and the 24/7 pain was not there. Not that it went away totally, but it wasn't constant. So from that point, I knew I'm in the second quarter.
So if you were to place a target date, well, let me ask you this question. How mobile would you say that you are now versus, prior, before the surgery?
Before the surgery.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I'm probably not as mobile because I've got a surgically repaired knee, but that doesn't mean that it's not on the. It's going to be better when it's done. When I'm able to bend my knee when I walk. Now I look like who's the pirate with the one leg?
Long John Silver.
Well, that's who I look like. So it's like a peg leg walk. So, but I can walk around, not for long, 10 minutes maybe before it starts to, get tired and achy.
Yeah.
But this is like I said, I totally underestimated this process. And, I'm not unhappy I did it now that I'm in the second quarter, but I was really discouraged in the first month.
So if you were to put a timetable as to when we would see Ricky Cash hobbling down the hallways here at Vegas All Net Radio, even on a part-time return basis, when would you like to see that happen? Or when is the doctor saying that you can possibly come off injured reserve?
Certainly no later than Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you have to mark on your calendar November 12th because I have arranged for a guest to come in the studio that you need to be here for.
If you think I'm coming in for the number one assassin,
no.
Well, let me put it this way, Ricky. If you ain't here, I sure as hell will be.
I assure you, partner, this has nothing to do with the number one assassin. As a matter of fact, if you look at my profile picture on Facebook, that will give you a hint.
Not the Batman one.
Not the Batman one, but this will give you a hint as to who our guest will be on that particular day, on the 12th, aligned specially for you.
I'm there. There's no question I'm there. And I'd love to be able to come back at least for the shows sooner than that, but we'll see.
All right. Well, at least the 12th, you have to be here at least for that guest. All right?
No question about it.
All right. So I'll leave that up to you to get on Facebook and check out my profile picture so you could see who we're talking about.
Well, as long as it's not North Las Vegas Metro, I'll be there.
It's not Metro and it's not the Assassin, so you're good on both fronts.
There you go. Sounds good. So what's going on tonight?
Well, we have, as a matter of fact, as we speak, garnering up to the microphone, getting ready for her interview, is Elizabeth Jones from the Deacon Jones Foundation, who, of course, we met at the LVIP dining event last month. And then in the second hour, we have Andi Graham, who is the owner and general manager of a company called Legacy Home Care, and she'll be talking, like a business spotlight, she'll be talking about what her business provides to those in medical needed homes here in the Valley.
Oh, I thought she was a graham cracker business.
Yes, and then of course, Unwrapped Treasures for Halloween, doing it with styles, weird news, and all kinds of other shenanigans that, of course, will name nameless to protect the innocent.
Of course. I think it's a tremendous tribute what Deacon's wife is doing for him as far as his work and what they're raising money for. And I sure wish I could be there for that.
Well, if you want, she just got up to the microphone. Why don't you say hello to Elizabeth Jones? She's here now in studio.
Elizabeth, it was a pleasure meeting you last month, and I wish I could be there tonight, but the work that you're doing is a tribute to Deacon's memory and the fabulous moments he gave so many of us watching him play in the NFL.
Well, I thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. He was the best, and he really was a pleasure to watch.
We're gonna.
He certainly gave a lot of offenses fits.
Yeah, and sleepless nights.
Both before and after games, I'm sure.
No question. All right, partner, we're going to let you go. We have a few more things to do before we go to our first break. But, yeah, so we got a busy show, and hopefully you'll keep listening. By the way, I want to share with you, if you didn't see the news, I know how technologically strong you are.
Oh, yeah.
We broke the news a couple of days ago. Not only can our shows – go ahead.
I saw it.
You saw it?
Yep.
You can now listen to all of the programming of Vegas All Net Radio on the TuneIn radio app as well as the Vegas All Net Radio app. So we've expanded our listenership in terms of where people can hear Vegas All Net Radio.
Does that mean that more people now know where to find us?
Or at least listen to us.
We're not giving out our address.
Yeah, we're not giving out the addresses or anything. I mean,
Very smart.
So you can.
All right, good job.
All right. All right, partner.
Take care, Ricky, man.
Bye, Cash Man.
Bye-bye.
All right, Ricky Cash calling in from the Cash compound. You know, his voice, unfortunately, being in all these weeks, he just sounds really raspy. But
I know what it's from.
What's it from?
It's from screaming at the Royals.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the last
He's
couple of
probably
nights.
hoarse after screaming at them for whooping the Mets so badly.
You know what? That's probably not a bad suggestion.
I could just see him.
Throwing the bricks at the TV. Any particular shout-outs for anybody that you have?
No, I'm going to save mine.
Okay.
For my segment.
I do. Okay.
He's got his.
Fine.
Yeah, like what is
Listen,
this?
everybody can have their own 7
I know
minutes
they
of
can
fame,
have their own
so.
segment, but we run this
All you have
show
to do is buy the damn studio.
I mean, we run this show in segments here, okay? You know, I mean.
I got one right there.
All
Right
right,
there.
yeah.
That's
That's
my
right.
segment right there.
I want to I do want to give a specific shout out to our friend down in Arizona, Miss Jenny. She's listening tonight, and while I've been sick this past week, God bless her, she's been.
That's why she hasn't gotten the package.
Why? Because I was sick.
That's right.
Oh, okay. She had been following up with me every day on Facebook just to check in with me as well, and she's got her own issues, and for her to take the time to check in with me, I appreciate. And everybody else that's out there, my sister's out there, everybody's out there, we thank you for tuning in. And with that, by the way, I do want to remind everybody, and we'll talk about this throughout the show, change the clocks this weekend.
Yes.
Fall back and out. By the way, did Ray change the clocks on our phone early this week or somebody? Because the clock on my phone has been behind an hour since like Tuesday.
You weren't here Tuesday, so
it was
how
Monday.
would you
Then it
know?
was Monday before I left.
Not that I know of.
Well, my clock on my phone is an hour early already.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't know.
You'll just get to your appointments earlier.
I guess. Well, thank God I'm not following the time on my not my cell
damn
phone. I'm talking about my
doesn't
desk.
work anyway, so
I know
what's
it's true.
you know.
Half the time it bells out on me. So.
Oh, I was just waiting to say if I could have shout-outs tonight.
Yeah, go,
I'd
man,
like to
of
say
course.
hi to Miss Bobcat,
Of
who's been
course.
fiercely working on a list for you today. She
Yes,
came
she
up with
has.
some of that, okay?
She has.
We'd like to say hi, and want to say hi to Mr. Frank Bain down in St. Petersburg, Florida, who's listening to us tonight.
St. Petersburg.
Yes, from Continental Talent Agency, so we'd like to say
right.
hi to him.
Fred?
No, Frank.
Frank. I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Frank Bain, all right?
Frank Bain.
He is
Okay,
the
gotcha. Hi,
president
Frank.
of that
Oh,
company
Mr.
down
President,
there.
I apologize.
And also a special shout-out to Mr. Chris Trickle, who
Yes.
really performed real well last Saturday
Sorry, I
night.
missed it last Saturday.
That's it. And we're taking Mr. John J. Peg Styles racing with us this weekend.
He told me that over our dinner. He is really excited about
I'm
going.
coming back with some real footage. I got a vest I can get out on the track and everything. Man.
Really?
I have hooked him up 2 times around again. Now.
Wow.
That's it.
We're gonna go viral.
Yep. He's going to go viral when he stands up in that tower with us and they cut loose with a couple of those top fuel dragsters at about 20,000 horsepower, and he will feel a concrete building literally shake.
You know, they have medication for those viral things.
That ain't nothing compared to an F4 taking off at the end of the runway and hitting its afterburners.
Well, that's pretty much what you're going to get is an afterburner, okay, buddy? There you go.
By the way, so again, change your clocks this weekend. You fall back, so we gain an extra hour of drinking time Saturday night or Sunday or whatever. And, of course, Halloween is this weekend, and we'll talk about that throughout the next couple hours. But I just want to ask everybody, please be safe out there, for Halloween while you're out there trick-or-treating. Be careful of the kids crossing the streets and whatever you're doing. Just be safe out there because we don't want any more stories like Brazil Ward, who got hit a couple of years ago, who was on one of our shows a few weeks back telling their story and everything else. Just please be safe while trick-or-treating this weekend.
Pay attention.
Go to the trunk-or-treats, the safe environments where they have the events all confined and controlled, and it'll be a lot safer, and it'll just make everybody happier, and just please enjoy the weekend. So just a couple of things that kind of are barreling through the brain. All right, with that, it is time to go up to our first break. And coming up on the other side is our first guest, and it is a great pleasure and honor to have Elizabeth Jones, the CEO of the Deacon Jones Foundation, in studio with us to talk about maybe a little Deacon and football, but mostly talk about the foundation. We want to get the word out on what the foundation's doing. Mr. Bobcat, if you would.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back. Aaron Phillips is back in the saddle again. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped right here on Vegas All Net Radio. Yours truly, the Bobcat, Mr. John J. Peg Styles, Aaron Phillips, and our first guest. That's right, Miss Elizabeth Jones from the Deacon Jones Foundation will join us next, right after this quick break, everybody. All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Thank you for tuning in. Our phone number is 702-483-4444. You can also Skype us if you want at Vegas All Net Radio, because I think you're going to probably want to ask some questions of our next guest. I had the opportunity to meet Elizabeth at the LVIP dining event at Mundo's Restaurant last month. Got to see some of the artwork that was on display for the Deacon Jones Foundation. And, of course, being a big football fan and knowing who Deacon Jones was, to have the opportunity to meet his wife here, Elizabeth, and learn more about the foundation. We'd be remiss by not bringing her on the show. And I understand, Elizabeth, you've been doing the circuit all of a sudden. I hear you've been on Joey Cicconi's show, doing some other interviews and getting
Joey
word of the foundation out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joey wanted to remind me that he got me first.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's fine. Well, we welcome you to Vegas Unwrapped. We
you.
appreciate it. We figure the more shows you can get on, the better for the foundation anyway, regardless of who's first, second, or third.
That's right.
So,
no,
right?
I appreciate it all. I really do, and you're right. I mean, the word has to get out there, and now since I brought the foundation to Las Vegas, I had it domesticated in Nevada.
Right.
So it's a Nevada corporation now, and we're doing our first program at Mojave High School in North Las Vegas.
And we'll talk about that in a second. I want to give the website out. It's Deacon Jones, DEACON, Jones.com. And I just want to read the quick introduction here on the About Us page so that folks get an idea as to what the flavor of the foundation is all about, if that's okay.
Please.
Deacon Jones, of course, believed in making a difference in the lives of inner city youth and those that were less fortunate in life. Founded in 1997 by Deacon and Elizabeth Jones, the Deacon Jones Foundation was created to assist young people in the communities in which they live. The foundation's primary objective is to develop leaders, to give young, talented, and intelligent students the tools to become positive role models. And today, the foundation is fulfilling its mission to serve youth populations who need support with two extraordinary programs, and we'll talk about those programs as we go. I think it's a great cause. Anything to help the inner city, or really any community. I don't want to just say inner city, but anything to really help any community nowadays with all that's going on in this world, the craziness of this world.
Well, we ran the program for a long time in Los Angeles, and we were hugely successful. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing because the things that you do for kids from these kinds of environments are, I don't think they're anything more than what you do for your own kids. Mm-hmm. But these kids are so appreciative, whereas your kids kind of expect it, you know?
Right,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and it's amazing the little things that you do that you don't pay any attention to, really, because they're just part of the way you treat your children, that these children, these students are just overwhelmed by what you do for them.
The generosity they're not used to.
No, not at all.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
So you talk about, you have something going on in Mojave. Talk about that. What's happened in Mojave High School?
Yeah, well, when we had the program in Los Angeles, we raised all of our money through major corporate sponsorships and major special events and, 3-day-long golf tournaments with 36 Hall of Famers at La Costa and things like that. Obviously, I can't do that by myself now that I moved here. So we decided instead, I got involved when I came here with this bright idea I had about doing fine art for the NFL.
Okay.
And through my friends at the NFL, in particular the commissioner, we received a full trademark license from the National Football League. So that gave me the opportunity to have artists do whatever they wanted using all of the trademarks and logos, and got in touch with artists and decided to raise money through fine art. And obviously, because we decided to raise the money through fine art, we decided that the best way to find the students to whom we wanted to give scholarships and help was through an art program, an after-school art program. Also because so many programs have been cut from so many schools that they don't offer students what we used to take for granted, which was we had art, we had physical education,
Right.
we had
Cooking classes,
everything.
Music,
yeah,
typing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
yeah, and now they don't. So what started out with, I think, 20 or 22 students showed up the first day.
Okay.
And then the next week, 28 students showed up. And the next week, it was 32 students until the teacher kind of had to cut it off because she doesn't have room
Sure,
for anybody else.
sure.
But the word spread throughout the school. And these kids are wonderful. Right now, they've designed... they've done a drawing and they want a design on T-shirts. They all want to be part of a club and have T-shirts, and so they're special. My sister, who's my assistant, is there every Thursday during class, and she's getting greatly attached to the kids. The hard part will be at the end of the semester. We have to choose 3 scholarship winners,
Okay.
and I'm sure she's going to agonize over that, whereas I'm more detached from the kids
Sure.
themselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, what do they have to do to qualify for the scholarships?
They don't have to be the best artists in the class. They don't have to be that at all. It's primarily based on their citizenship
Okay.
and on their desire to continue their education and on need.
So the students that are in this program, are they all grades in high school? Is it just seniors?
I believe they're primarily seniors
Okay.
and juniors. However, it's open to all grades at the
Gotcha.
school. And then we give first, second, and third place scholarships, grants for them to use towards their further education. They're not handed a check.
Okay.
That money is controlled and it's used to whatever they want as long as it's education driven.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be, okay, as long as it's education driven, and that's
Yes.
the key phrase.
Yeah, it does not have to be for scholarship.
How much are the dollar amounts in the scholarships that are awarded?
The first prize is $5,000.
Wow.
The second is $2,500, and the third is $500.
Wow.
And if we can up it before then, we'll do it
Sure,
the next semester.
sure.
But we have to start with one school and one program,
Right.
and it's running really, really well. Mojave is expecting to have a second semester and a third and a fourth and so on. And we'd like to add more schools as we raise more money.
So how did you get into Mojave? Was it going through the Clark County School District? Was it just going to the school direct that they wanted to bring the program in themselves? How does the school get involved?
Well, not really. I'm new here. I
Okay.
came here a year ago from California, so I didn't know anything. My sister has been here for 40 years, and I think that any place you live, you know where there's areas that are less well-to-do than others. And she did the investigating, actually, and there were, I believe, 4 schools in that really close proximity to one another. And she contacted all of them, and Mojave responded and wanted it, and so Mojave got it.
So basically, you can approach the school with the program. It's up to the school if they want to bring it in. It's not anything that
Exactly.
has to be approved by the school district.
Apparently
per se.
not.
Okay.
Apparently not, which was a great blessing because we fund the entire program.
Sure. Oh, well, so why would the school district have an issue with it? Because
Well,
they're
I
not
don't
putting any,
know.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'd be happy because they're not putting any money into it, and it's a program that can be offered to the kids, which is great.
Yeah, except for example, the kids do something that they want on the T-shirts, and then they wanted to put our logo on the sleeve and name on the back. Well, it's been probably 3 or 4 weeks now that the school still hasn't approved the drawing that the kids did, and I can
Gotcha.
understand why they have to, because they don't want anything that's
Inappropriate. Sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, if we had to wait for them to approve the program, we'd probably be doing it
Right.
3 years from now.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The bureaucracy.
What are the current age ranges of the kids that you're working with? Or
They're
do you have
mostly junior and senior.
Junior and senior
yeah,
high?
so they're 16, 17, 18.
and I'm thinking that there's a perfect tie-in here between the foundation and Vegas Lions football.
Probably a good
Vegas
connection.
Lions football is one of our shows here on the station, and they
Oh,
have
really?
It's a semi-pro football team in town.
They're a AAA
I
team.
love football
and if you go to their site, vegaslionsfootball.com, and you read their mission statement and their goals, it's exactly the kind of thing that you're trying to do. And not only help the kids, but to create better human beings and better individuals, and giving them an opportunity to rise above their situation or their position or whatever. And I just see, after having Bill on the show last week and talking to him about some of the things that his team is doing, man, I just see we need to get you
Maybe
hooked up
we
with
should
him.
meet. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
other thing that's important, and you just said it, part of the program that we ran in California and what we want to do here is the major thing for Deacon was that these kids, we give them all the tools they need and also give them the understanding and desire to go back and be role models and help their community.
Exactly.
Right. Pay it forward.
Exactly.
Because you don't
Yeah.
you don't always know the impact that you're going to have on these kids, and even the ones that don't get the scholarship, or just because they participated in the program,
Yeah.
what that does for the community as a whole, not just the individual, but everyone that they come in contact with.
Well, the
So,
impact in California was astounding.
yeah.
Really astounding. Even the other kids in the school who were not considered part of, didn't qualify or didn't get the scholarships, the ripple effect was amazing, not
Exactly.
only in the school but in the community. One little girl who lived in a Hispanic community, and she interned, we gave them internships so that they got paid for. She interned with a police woman from the Inglewood Police Department, and if anything happened in her neighborhood, nobody would call the police. Well,
Right.
something happened, and there was something in the middle of the street going on, and she ran in the house and she called the police, and everybody was telling her don't, and the police came in a minute and solved everything, and the whole neighborhood was aghast.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm on the website, deaconjones.com, and I'm clicking on the media gallery. And if you click on the photo gallery tab under that, there's an option where you can actually see the Mojave High School Scholarship Program at work. And there's everything from painting to sculpting. So it's really a full arts program. It's not just painting.
No,
per
it's
se,
whatever they want, and if you click on that, you'll see some of the kids
Right.
at work.
which I've gone through the
Yeah,
picture. So
yeah.
this is great. Now, is it pretty much, are these programs that I guess because of the scholarships attached, you're pretty much interested in just really getting into the high schools at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's as we get more ingrained in the community, and I love being able to meet with this other organization, and we can get more money and bigger. When we had it in California, we started with kids at the end of the 9th grade.
Now-
But that was an intense,
What-
7-year program.
What
Yeah.
I'd like to do after the break, we're at the bottom of the hour, is we'll talk about how you fundraise, and that's where the artwork that's professionally done by the featured artists, correct,
Yes.
are used to generate the funds. So we'll talk about that on the other side. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped with Deacon Jones's wife. Well, really the boss now.
The big
The
boss.
big boss, Elizabeth Jones, CEO of the Deacon Jones Foundation, talking about the foundation and all that it's doing for the schools.
Our first half hour is down into the books. We've still got more with Miss Jones coming up right after the break. Stick right here with us. Aaron Phillips, John J. Peg Styles, yours truly, the Bobcat. We're working Thursday night with Vegas Unwrapped right here on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Back with more with Miss Jones right after this, everybody.
All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Special in-studio guest, Elizabeth Jones, CEO of the Deacon Jones Foundation, making a difference for kids in communities. And during the break, I'm flipping around here on the website, deaconjones.com, and I'm in the artwork and anything relating to my Giants. I think I've already mentally purchased about $20,000 worth of artwork here.
It's a donation.
I know.
It's a donation.
Michael Strahan is there. I mean, and then you shared with me that one of your artists is doing another piece for the Giants now that'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But anyway, before I get in, my wife, I hope, isn't listening to this show.
If you take a, by the way, that Michael Strahan piece was done right after 9/11.
I figured with the red, white, and blue
Yeah,
background and
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
It's the inspiration is tremendous. All right, so let's face it. As a foundation, and you have all the scholarship programs, you've got to have money to give away, and obviously people can make donations. And you are obviously a 501c3, so there's all the contributions and
right.
stuff. But $100 here, $50, maybe $1,000 here or there doesn't really get you to the levels that you want to in order to award some. What did you tally up before? About $8,000 worth of scholarships,
well, and we
roughly.
pay the teacher, and we buy all the supplies.
So all your other costs and everything involved.
Yeah.
So there has to be something that's going on to create the bigger dollar revenue. And of course, it's NFL artwork. It's exclusive access to NFL licensed fine art prints. Why don't you talk about the artists involved and what's happening here?
The artists are wonderful sports artists, and the paintings that they do for the Deacon Jones Foundation are exclusively licensed to us.
Okay.
So they're limited editions of a maximum of 125 each, signed and numbered with certificates of authenticity and NFL holograms on them. And when we first started this, we contacted, I knew a couple of sports artists, and we contacted a couple more. And then it's a small network of sports artists.
Sure.
They started everybody saw everybody else's on Facebook, and we were inundated with phone calls and
Sure.
emails.
Nice
from,
problem to have.
Yes, right.
And the artists volunteer their time. I mean, this is
It's not
donate right.
They own the originals,
Right.
But they license the rights to reproduce them
Gotcha.
to the
you.
Deacon Jones
Right.
Foundation. Once we have the photos that we need in order to reproduce them, they have every right to sell the originals if
Gotcha.
they want, but they cannot reproduce it, so you can't find it anywhere. But the good thing is, probably before Thanksgiving, you're going to be able to find most of this on NFL Shop on NFL.com.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I know, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Another great outlet.
No
That's
wonder you're
tremendous.
smiling all the time.
I know. In fact, last night, the other night when I went to
on Monday?
LVIP,
Right.
yeah, there was Layla wanted us to gave us little sticky pads to put something I'm grateful for.
Okay.
And so I said for the NFL.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great opportunity to be on their website and everything.
Yeah.
So you've got now the different artists that you have here. You probably have close to maybe 24 different artists. Or do they specialize? Obviously, looking at the pictures in the gallery, the styles you could tell are very different.
Yes.
But do they focus on certain teams versus the other guys, or is it just whatever their inspiration is?
Well, some of them do and some of them don't, and most of them did before they connected with me.
Mm-hmm.
And now some of the paintings that I have, they had already done previously.
Okay.
And then they licensed them to me. Now they obey. So some of them, of course, have a particular affinity for one team. They live in Dallas. They want the Cowboys. They live in San Francisco and so on. But they understand that I need to have representation of all 32 teams.
Sure.
And the other thing that you should know, because they're all calling me day and night now, is the NFL has asked the Deacon Jones Foundation, and this is the first time ever that they've ever done anything like this, but we're putting on an art exhibit at NFL at the Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco. Yes.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm really good at carrying luggage.
Are
That's
you?
right.
Yes. If you'd like someone to come along and carry your luggage and
I
just
may-
wait
I
on you
may
hand
have
and
you
foot,
carry my luggage,
I'll give
but
you
I
my
don't
card
mean I can
after
get
the
you
show.
into the game.
He wouldn't care about the game. I would care about the
I
game.
see.
But if we could do a live remote from there, I mean, that would be kind of interesting. to
Yeah,
do.
well,
So,
maybe I can get you hooked up into the media row.
there you go. There
Yeah.
you go. Media Row. That's a place to be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
One of my board members actually going to be in media row, so I hope I'm going to get some coverage.
All
there.
right, great.
Yeah.
I got to imagine, obviously, you have the buy-in and support from the NFL.
Yes.
Because obviously their shield is supporting
Yes.
you and all the players and everything. But are they contributing in any way to help the foundation besides just lending their name and support? I mean, are they?
Well,
I mean, that's
giving
huge.
me
Don't
all
get me
of
wrong.
The trademark
Right.
is huge.
Sure.
It's bigger than any money they would give me. The
Sure.
NFL supported us from the very beginning.
Okay.
And they supported us with money. They supported us with product. They supported us with advertising.
Okay.
And they've done all kinds of things for us. And Deacon and I were fortunate to be very close to the league office, the people in the league.
Right.
Aside from just players and owners and
Sure.
coaches and things like that. Deacon was, we were there all the time. He did a lot of...
Well, he was a great ambassador for
Yes,
the game. Once
right,
his playing
exactly.
days were over,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knew who he was because he played, but Deacon was a true ambassador for the game no matter where he
Exactly.
went.
Exactly.
So that obviously paved the way for great relationships with the front office, with the
Exactly.
corporation
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
NFL.
Exactly. And I really... I have to be careful how I say this, but I really don't think that there's another player, and certainly not another player's wife, who has a relationship with the NFL league as I do and as Deacon did. And I treasure that.
Sure.
You
It's
know.
nothing to take lightly.
No.
Not in this day and age.
Not at all. Not at all. Not when the license is hundreds and hundreds of thousands
Oh,
of
sure,
dollars
sure.
and there's all kinds of royalties on the backside. And then I just also received license approval from the NFL Players Association, which means I can use the images of any current players I want.
Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, you got the keys to the candy store.
Hey,
That's really
I
what
know,
you have.
I
there.
know. I do. Believe me.
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
tremendous.
You had mentioned a little while ago that your sister helps you, and
Yes.
and this is about the third time I think I've run into you regarding this. And the thing that really stands out is your passion and your sister's passion for this. It's just so obvious, and when you start talking about it, your eyes light up, and you get this big smile on your face. So you must really love what you're doing here, and
I do, and it's interesting that you said that because my sister's brother-in-law for 35 years was one of the greatest football players who ever lived.
I
and
had
she
heard
never
that.
paid any attention to it at
yeah,
all.
it's funny how that happens sometimes.
Yeah, never paid any attention to, didn't know anything about football. And then when I came here and I started this again, all of a sudden she's calling me up and saying, "Who do you like for this game? And how do you like this?"
All the
And I
betting
know what
odds.
this logo is.
She wants to know what the over and under is.
yeah,
And
no, she hasn't gone that far yet.
By the way, let me clarify for the audience and the viewing audience that Elizabeth's sister is to my left, but she's camera shy, so she is here in studio with us supporting the interview. So just
Yeah,
want to
so
let
I
the
have to only say good things.
That's right, exactly. That's right. So we want to acknowledge that she is here with us in studio and she's lending her support. But John, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, you can't have this kind of success, A, that you are already having, and B, that you want to have moving forward,
Yeah.
unless you have the passion for what you want to do. And certainly the ability to accomplish what you're able to do because of the NFL and Deacon's legacy,
Yes.
and your legacy, because you guys are married 35 years.
Yep,
You said,
yep.
I mean,
I was his agent and manager
yeah,
too.
right.
That's why they know me so
so-
well. They
so-
couldn't get past me.
You were the dreaded gatekeeper.
That was true. Yes,
But
absolutely.
to take all of that and really being given the keys to the car and being able to take this to a whole nother level, couple that with your passion to help the communities,
Yeah.
Is a tremendous gift. And I know you don't take it lightly.
I don't, and I'll tell you what. I really feel that what I'm doing is such a tribute to my husband, but a tribute to the NFL and the game that was his entire life.
Sure.
You know, and the NFL was pervasive in my house. It never went away, and everything that he did later on, he credited to his success in the NFL,
Sure.
and rightly so.
Sure.
And when I spoke to the commissioner, to Roger
To
Goodell,
Roger, told Rog is
sorry,
on the phone.
guys. When I spoke to the commissioner and told him what I wanted to do, and I wanted to start the foundation up again, he was all over that. He was
and
just
that's another
wonderful.
thing that I really admire is you left Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And where you were pretty successful there with the
Yeah,
foundation,
yeah.
and then coming here and basically starting from scratch.
Out of my pocket.
Yeah, and starting
Yeah.
all over. So I mean that alone tells me the passion that you have for the foundation and what you're doing.
Well, I had
here.
this bright idea, NFL fine art. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah. It seems to be working.
You don't know what paths we walk to get us to the doors we want to open.
I know. I know.
And the legacy that you and Deacon created through all of his years of playing, you being a part of that life with him as his agent and everything, as I think really let itself come to this point for you to carry on that legacy in a whole different direction.
Yeah.
For if not even more success off the field results than what Deacon did on the field as a player, to be able to harness that in the relationships you have with the NFL and to be able to take his name and your name and move forward to the point that you're doing. You're basically rebuilding communities. I mean, let's not take it lightly here.
Yeah.
One school at a time is what you're doing.
One school at a time.
Okay.
And we do raise the majority of the money through the sale.
Sure.
Well, I can't say that because I still have a couple of corporate angels.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But the majority of it is through the artwork and the donations, and you can make a donation direct through the website. Again, deaconjones.com. The artwork is there, all the information that you want. You can contact Elizabeth at 714-403-4480 right there on the website. Again, it is now a Nevada corporation, a
Yes.
Nevada 501c3. So any deductions or any contributions that you do make are tax deductible. We only have a couple of minutes left, so I would be remiss if I didn't at least ask one football question.
Go for it.
All right. What is the craziest memory you have of Deacon as a player?
I don't know.
I mean, after
On the field or off the field?
I don't know. After
wasn't even gonna go there.
this is John Stiles we're talking about. He'll take it there. No, but I mean, after a win, did he do something crazy? I mean, what's your fondest memory of Deacon as a player? Let's put it that way.
Well, you need to know that I was not married to Deacon when he played.
Okay.
Okay, but I was from Los Angeles, and I loved Deacon. I mean, the Rams were Deacon.
Right.
That was it. You know, the fersome foursome, yes, but
Sure.
Roman, yeah, he was cute, you know, but Deacon
But on
was
the defensive
team.
side, he was
Yeah,
the man.
Yeah. And so I don't really know anything firsthand about
Okay.
anything post-game.
Okay.
But I do know that that he couldn't stand to lose anything. So when there was a loss,
He took it
You
hard.
better not be happy.
Jeez.
Yeah, he took it really hard. He used to get really mad at teammates who would be in the plane flying home and sitting around laughing
Wow.
after a loss. You know, you don't want to do that.
I could see that. I could see that in him, in
no,
taking that
you
loss. Yeah.
didn't want to do that.
Took it hard. You took it personally.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
He thought the only people who were good losers were losers.
I like that.
There's nothing more profound than that. I mean, if you like to lose, you're nothing but a loser. So
That's right.
I guess that's fair. Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming in. We could spend more time, and I'm sure down the line we will. Maybe when there's more artwork being released, new programs and things, please let us know. We'd love to have you back
Yeah,
on.
anything-
I
Spread
will.
the word.
Thank you so much for
Anytime you need
having
any
me.
help with anything, you can come here.
Especially the Super Bowl. Let us
push
know.
it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I will. I'll keep you in mind. I'll
Elizabeth
keep you in mind.
Jones, CEO of the Deacon Jones Foundation, joining us here in Vegas. Or if you missed any of the information, please check it out on YouTube, which will be up in the next day or so, or on the audio file. And it's almost that time, Mr. Bobcat. Why don't you take us to break?
What a great interview. What a great lady there, man. I just wanted to say my father and myself enjoyed watching your husband play for many, many years. Information will be listed right on this video and on this account where you can get right involved with the Deacon Jones Foundation. We want to thank Miss Jones for stopping by. When we come back, it's Doing It with Styles, a little check with sports, and a lot more coming up. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Back right after the break, everybody.
All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, it's the least I could do. We had nothing else to do on
Yeah, right.
7:49 p.m. here Pacific time, but it is that time.
Next week it'll be 6:49.
It's time for Doing It with Style.
Uh-oh.
You've either got or you haven't got style.
If you got it, you stand out a mile. Got or you haven't got class.
You missed it.
All right, John, take it away.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, it's time for Doing It with Styles. I had an interesting week.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
So,
Were you feeling like the captain of the Titanic at all this week?
yeah, really. It's like, oh my God, everybody's sick and dying. I'm the only one left. But it was a good week. We have a good crew here, so it really wasn't that difficult. We didn't miss you guys at all.
No. Okay.
But I did have an interesting week because I discovered my new favorite place to go eat.
Uh-oh.
And I'm really jazzed about it. It's over on Desert Inn.
Desert Inn.
Just off of Decatur.
By Decatur.
Right across from Desert Breeze Park.
By the park.
Right next to the Porch Light.
Which is where I meet Monday mornings with,
exactly
with
right.
one of my networking groups.
So you need to go over there after 4 o'clock. They're open from 4 to 11.
Okay.
And it's called the Old School Brew Pub.
Old School Brew Pub. I know it well.
Yeah.
Used to be Graziano's Italian restaurant way back when.
Yep.
Remember?
Anyway, I got a great sports bar there for all you Seahawks fans. Shut up, man.
You say that with a ram here in the studio? Come on now.
Hey, everybody's got to have a shot, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So, and they've got a nice restaurant side, a family side restaurant, which is really nice. The food is great. I went over there and I stumbled across tater tots and homemade potato chips. They make their potato chips right there.
Okay.
And these are those kettle crunch potato
chips. Right, the sliced potatoes
that are about
you
an inch and a half
fry in
thick.
oil.
Man, they're
cholesterol
just
killer.
Awesome. You bet.
Yeah.
I had to take double my cholesterol medication for a week after going over there. Nick over there is the owner. And Christine,
right?
You saw the picture, right?
Yes.
Okay, dressed up as Jessica Rabbit.
Yes.
So. And the day before,
you only have 3 minutes left.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'll throw this show off of this station. Anyway, the name of the place is Old School Brew Pub.
Yes.
And this week they are getting the Doing It With Styles Award because they really do it with styles. The service is great. Everybody in there is really friendly. Tuesday night they have Geeks Who Drink night. They have tabletop board game nights, and they are really expanding the family restaurant side. They got TVs in there, and if you want to have some kind of an event or something like that, they got a great venue because they have a center section that is a little bit recessed and then booths all around.
Cool.
So if you want to have some kind of a fashion show or an art show or something like that, it's a great place to go. So
Very good.
Go over there sometime, tell Nick and Christine hi, and tell them that Vegas All Net Radio sent them over there. And go there. And they got good food, too.
Thank you for listening to Doing It With Style. Heard exclusively on Vegas Unwrapped.
All right. So that leaves us, about 2.5 minutes, Mr. Bobcat?
Buddy, I'm right on. We're keeping it right on tack tonight.
All right, let's go to the Vegas Unwrapped Sports Desk. Then we go to the National. Mr. Bobcat, take it away.
Thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate that. Let's get started. Well, we had Deacon Jones' wife. Let's get started with the NFL.
Go for it.
All right. How about Tom Brady and those Patriots tonight over
Tom
the Miami?
Brady? What, does he play hockey?
I don't know. He plays quarterback for the. Yeah. 22-7, fourth quarter right there. New England up on top of the Dolphins right there. NCAA or football. How about this big guy? Number 23, Pittsburgh knocked off tonight by North Carolina. 26-19.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, those TCU Horned Frogs, they are tough to beat. 40-10 with about 8 minutes left over West Virginia. NBA Finals for you right now. We've got Memphis on top of Indiana, 112-103. Coming up a little bit later on tonight, we've got Dallas at the Clippers, okay? A full schedule of NHL that's all just getting started off. And we're back racing again this weekend, gentlemen. 8 drivers, 4 races to go as we head to the Tricky Triangle. That's right, Martinsville is up in line. I think it's going to be a big payback weekend here. Some people are not happy with Kevin Harvick and the outlets at Talladega because Dale Jr. didn't make the show. But the Cups and the Trucks will share the paperclip this weekend, and it's on the way to the chase is what we're looking at. That's a quick look at sports. We've got our national break sticking right here with us on Vegas Unwrapped. Man, I'm telling you, looking good. Bobcat from the Vegas Unwrapped Sports Press. We're going to take that national break. When we come back, well, you know what that means. It's around the corner and down the hill we go. It's Thursday night with Vegas Unwrapped right here on Vegas All Net Radio. Back right after the national break, everybody.
All right. Vegas Unwrapped, hour number 2 is about to get underway. I want to thank you for listening. Wasn't that a great interview with Elizabeth?
You know, it's awesome.
Tremendous program.
The passion that she has for what she's doing is just to be able to give all that up in L.A., come here, start from scratch.
Absolutely.
And to be able to put that together, just it's
amazing.
It's
Remarkable woman. Very well. And always, like I said before we got out of here, my dad just loved Deacon Jones, man. I mean, he came from the old school back in Deacon and Ray Nitschke and Butkus and all those guys.
That was a whole
man.
different time for football. That was not like today's
Those were football players.
Yeah.
We didn't get to get into it, and the interview was so going good, but if I ever had a chance to speak to her again, I wonder how Deacon would feel about the league today compared to what the league was back when he played in it. So, I mean,
I'm sure they spoke about that before he passed. All right, you know what we're going to do? You know, it is a holiday. It's a holiday weekend because of Halloween.
Yeah.
So I've got some unwrapped treasures to talk about, so if you would.
So we get to unwrap something for the holiday.
Yes, we get to unwrap some candy. Again, I just want to remind everybody, first of all, turn your clocks back before you go to bed Saturday night, 2 a.m. officially. It's actually Sunday morning. And then, of course, please be safe trick-or-treating out there. Please.
Pay attention.
No
Watch where you're
crazy
going.
stories. Absolutely. All right. What is October 30th? That's tomorrow.
That is correct, sir.
Yes, it is.
Friday.
4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the Candy Corn Carnival. How about
I
that?
hate candy corn.
I do, too. But you know what? They're a staple for some reason.
I know.
This is at the
They have a 723-year shelf life. Did you know that?
I didn't. 723 years?
Maybe 22, but
Oh, wow.
700.
About as long as that Twinkie, man.
Jeez.
Hey, but I got a real quick, since you said the
Sure.
candy corn, you all are familiar with Payday candy bars,
Sure.
right?
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
Do you know what that you can mix that will taste exactly like a Payday candy bar?
What's that?
Take a little handful of the candy corn and take a little handful of the peanuts, crunch them all at the same time, and it tastes just like a Payday candy bar, man.
You know what it's missing, though?
What's that?
Shot of tequila.
Well,
As I was saying, at the Veritas Apartments, 3370 St. Rose Parkway down in Henderson, enjoy a pre-Halloween celebration that everyone will enjoy. The Candy Corn Carnival is a free, fun-filled carnival hosted by Veritas Apartments with games and activities, food, raffles, prizes, and, of course, candy corn. Expect to have a great time and to hang around for a while. Bring your pet dressed up for a costume contest for an extra treat and photo opportunity.
Because your pets just love that.
Cheryl Green, our host of
Right.
Something to Chew On,
Yeah.
she posted a clip today. She was on News 3 this morning,
Right.
doing a segment about pet care and everything
Right.
through Halloween.
Right.
And she had one of the pets with her dressed as a taco. And you can see the dog was not exactly happy about that. So, also on the 30th from 5 to 7 p.m., the Spooky Storage Trail at Freedom Storage, 2600 Vegas Drive. Come have a spooky fun time with friends and neighbors to start your Halloween trick-or-treating at the first annual Spooky Storage Trail. The storage yard will be open to the community and decorated by participating tenants. There will be a gift card prize for best costume and best decorated storage unit. Enjoy a safe and fun-filled alternative to trick-or-treating this Halloween. They will also have Halloween move-in details, so if you're looking for a storage unit, they can take care of that as well.
Colamundo.
What else we got going on? I'm trying to find stuff
I don't know,
specific
you
to
got the
Halloween.
list.
I know. I'm trying to find some good stuff here. How about, come on, Downtown Summerlin Farmers Market. Of course, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday at Downtown Summerlin. They always have some good stuff down there.
Yeah, they do.
If you're looking for a pet to add to your family for the holidays, the Nevada SPCA, of course, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is doing their thing down at 4800 West Dewey Drive.
You know what I heard?
What's
this
that?
is very interesting. This time of the year,
Yeah.
or a couple of weeks before and a couple of weeks after, none of the pet rescue places or anything like that will adopt out black cats.
Yeah, because I was listening today
Yeah.
that during the Halloween season,
Yep.
they are the most, dare I say, tortured animal at this time of year. So that's good that they've recognized that and
What
not
kind
going
of
to do
a
anything.
stupid individual does something like that?
off the stratosphere they should go.
Without a seatbelt.
Right? Yeah, no guideline, nothing.
All right, here's a unique event. Okay, I'm sure many people know this family being here in town, but Sandy and Lonnie Hammergren Home of Nevada History, is October 31st from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is a $15 charge to get in. It's the 20th annual open house celebrating Nevada Day, and of course,
20 years already?
for them doing this. Absolutely. Of course, that is to celebrate the day that Nevada became a state.
Right.
Was 150 years ago or something like that. Saturday, October 31st, and Sunday, November 1st. It's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, donation is $15 per person. Under 12, you are free. Non-stop live Vegas entertainers. There will be tours. There will be refreshments. Proceeds will benefit the Mid-East Memorial Wall. You can go to 4318 Ridgecrest Drive here in Las Vegas, 89121. And, of course, when you get there, please park with courtesy to their neighbors. So it sounds like it should be a lot of fun. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Hammergren household, let me share this little bit of history. Since 1971, the Hammergren home of Nevada history has been the residence of retired neurosurgeon and former Nevada Lieutenant Governor Lonnie Hammergren, MD, and his wife, Sandy. The home has become world-renowned for its collection of Nevada history, especially Las Vegas memorabilia, casino signs, movie and stage production props, and other unique artifacts from around the world. The Hammergrens have opened their home once a year during Nevada Day to allow the public to view their incredible collection. The house has been featured on numerous television programs, including Robin Leach's Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous, History Channel's Pawn Stars, and the Travel Channel. So that is on the 31st.
Have you ever been over there?
I have not.
You see the pictures, and it just does not do it justice.
Doesn't do it, but he's got some big things in that.
But you have to see it.
I think, though, based on what I've seen when they've done these TV shows, like I saw the Pawn Stars episode where they were there and whatnot. You walk into a place like that, it's got to be so overwhelming of stuff to look at. Where do you begin? What do you do? How do you really enjoy it with so much stuff that's there? Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know, but it is a great place for all that history. So that is $15 to go.
You know, Paige Poole, the pool party, had a special guest on Monday night, and he told us that if you're going to go see this thing, plan on about 2.5 to 3 hours just to take your time to go through this, to look at all the great stuff that's
I believe it. Absolutely. And I'd also probably suggest, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, get a tetanus shot, because you don't know how old some of these metallic objects are sitting around their house. That if you get cut open, you get something. So,
well, that's the cool thing about Lonnie's a doctor.
That's true. He's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it.
He was McDreamy before there was a McDreamy.
Yep.
No Scream Adult Halloween, October 31st, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Tivoli Village. All grown boys and girls are invited to spend an adult Halloween evening at Tivoli Village. Stop by their restaurants for hauntingly good happy hours and specialty cocktails. So
what's the name of the one that we went over there for the LVIP dining thing? What's the name of the restaurant?
It was the one on the corner there. Yeah. That was Echo and Brig, the steakhouse.
Briggs,
yes,
yeah.
That was very good. Yes, nice. It certainly was. Sexy, spooktacular Halloween costume party, October 31st, 8 p.m.
I'm going to that.
You know what? I'm surprised April didn't mention this to us, because this is her client. Isabella's Seafood Tapas and Grill, 2620 Regatta Drive.
It's because she didn't want us going over there. She knew better.
That's a good point. $30. Best Halloween Costume Contest, 3 categories. Overall Best Costume, Best Duo, and Sexiest Costume win cash prizes and gift certificates up to $1,000. Guests will enjoy hors d'oeuvres and specialty drinks. Full-service cash bar will also be available. Trick-or-treat candy bar and gift bags. Enjoy the Best of Vegas 2015 Chef Benny Velasquez. As a matter of fact, April's trying to arrange to get him on Vegas Unwrapped probably on the 19th, because he's doing something special for Thanksgiving.
Cool.
So we may have Benny on our show. Specialty Halloween theme appetizers under the moon on the lake and desert shores. Summerlin's Restaurant, Isabella's Seafood Tapas and Grill come out on this spectacular night. So that's the 31st. You must be 21 and over, obviously. Let's see, and believe it or not, that's the only. I know there's more events out there, but those are the few that are here on my list. How about Movies at the Tank, Halloween Town, October 31st at 7 p.m. If you want to head over to the Golden Nugget, come on down to the Golden Nugget Casino. Enjoy a family movie at the pool. Bring your swimsuit, as the Nugget's heated pool is open year-round. Doors open at 6:30, and the movie begins at 7 p.m. Drink specials will be available all evening. Seating is first come, first serve. Admission is free and open to the public. And you can come back again for the movies. The Goonies is going to take place November 14th. Iron Man November 18th, and A Christmas Story on December 19th. Something about being in a pool, heated or not, on December 19th sounds a little chilling to me.
That's cool.
Getting in may not be a problem. Getting out's where the problem happens.
No, I've been over there, stayed at the Golden Nugget, taken Mrs. Bobcat over there, and what is really cool is that they have those outside heaters all the way around the pools.
Heats the air by the pool.
Oh, I'm telling you. You ain't, big guy, nothing like going down that slide through the shark tunnel right there. You hit the water, you get out, and then you get yourself a nice cocktail and hit that gigantic hot tub they got there. It is something else, man.
Yeah. Let me know how that works out for you this year.
Speaking of which, they're making a Goonies 2.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah.
Is it going to be all the Goonies 1 grown up?
Looks like it.
Jeez. I thought the first one was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. I was a lot younger then. But
that's true, for what it was at that time. All right, so that does it for some unwrapped treasures of what's going on here in town for Halloween. And if you have an event that you want to add.
I got a special note in for anybody that's heading out into the strip to the NHRA. There will be tricks and trunks and trucks and tricks out there, so kids can
trick or treat safely out of
there,
the trunks.
And out of the trunks, out of the NHRA guys are here in town
good.
this weekend. So if you got tickets to go out there, of course, every ticket gets a pit pass. Okay, so you can go out there and get some good candy and meet your fellow NHRA guys. So
And
I
if
just
you
got
play your cards right, I'll take your picture.
Yeah, John Stiles will be there, man.
Is that at your race too?
Yeah, he's coming out.
I know. I didn't realize that was the same.
Oh yeah, we're out there to do we're out there to cover the semifinal round of the NHRAs for this weekend. Coming
They got
up.
how many tracks out there? How many tracks
They
got
actually
out there?
have
Individual
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They actually have 6 tracks at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway complex.
I don't think
out
most
there.
people realize that.
Yeah.
I think all they think is
The major one.
The big major one. That's right.
Yeah.
But this weekend, the NHRA is here in town, and want a special shout out, man. If you don't know if you saw this on Facebook. John Force's team, Courtney Force's semi-rig was coming into Las Vegas.
I saw the picture.
And the car jumped over the middle lane, took out. No one was killed, thank God. But a whole new rig had to be sent
I was going to say, the rig went into it like a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got caught up underneath it, and they basically just had to open it up like a sardine can to get it out of there, man. So we're talking.
Well, fortunately, no one was hurt.
That
That's
is
the
good
important
thing.
part. So
That's the good part.
All right, so that does it for Unwrapped Treasures. And normally we go downhill in the second hour, but fortunately we have a guest that's going to save us from that. Although I don't know, she may want to go downhill with us. I have no idea. We usually digress here.
I don't
in
think
the
so.
second
She
hour.
looks like she's got a little class.
Well, I know. I was going to say, I know Andy from networking. She's a great lady, but I'm sure she has a side that if we get a little digressive, she'll probably join right in with us. So anyway, all right, Bobcat, take us to break.
I can certainly do that. Thank you very much, sir, man. We've got the first hour underneath the books. We'll work on hour number 2 right here as Aaron Phillips is back in the control center with us. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped right here. Aaron's in house tonight, John J. Peg Styles, and yours truly, the Bobcat behind the board. Want to send our special thoughts out there to the old Cash Man. Looking forward to having you back with us, buddy. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, our next guest is standing in line, ready to go. Yes, indeed. Okay? Hanging tight. Vegas Unwrapped on a Thursday night right here, everybody.
I'm not contagious.
Well, I'm going to sit over here anyway.
Okay.
That's why I'm sitting over here. I'm not taking any chances.
All right, welcome back to Vegas
You just
Unwrapped.
never know.
I want the first caller to call in at 702-483-4444 who can tell me medically what allergic bronchitis is. And John Stiles, you're not allowed to call in. 702-483-4444.
Because I know BS when I hear it.
Give me a definition medically of what allergic bronchitis is and how you get it. So we're going to see what kind of response we get. So anyway, all right. Joining us now is an individual who I've known for about 8, 9, 10 months. We network together with BCN Thursday mornings. Andi Graham, she's the owner and general manager of a company called Legacy Home Care here in Las Vegas. And, of course, it's a company, though, that is not just in Vegas. It is around the country. Mm-hmm. But the only one that we really care about is the one right here in Las Vegas serving Clark County. Andi, welcome to Vegas Unwrapped.
Great. It's so great to be here. I'm excited to be in Vegas and excited to be on your show.
Well, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. What are you? You're not originally from Vegas, right?
No, I'm from Chicagoland, actually, Northwest Indiana.
How long are you out here?
20 minutes from downtown. I've been here since 2004.
Okay.
We're at the height of the market.
There you go.
That was exciting. Came out for work and jobs and the wonderful weather that we have.
That's right. All right. So you're from Chi-Town, huh?
Chi-Town.
So is that Cubs territory up there?
That's White Sox.
Oh, that's White Sox territory.
I'm a South Sider.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
right.
Cubbies.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, right now, don't say sorry to Cubbies. They went further than the White Sox.
Oh, this is true.
All right, so let's talk about Legacy Home Care. Let's talk a little bit about your background and how you got into this and why you got into Legacy Home Care and what it's about.
Yeah, really what I started out as corporate America. Like everybody else, my brother's corporate America. We're all corporate America. I move out here for jobs. And I didn't realize that the weather was great and there's no mosquitoes and there's no hailstorms. That should be
snow.
That should be on some kind of big banner when you drive in.
No.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous. So I was like, shoot, I want to retire there. This is great. I go, what do I got to do to retire in Vegas? And so I started looking at different businesses and I'm like, okay, home care is kind of kept jumping out at me. Everybody else is like, oh, you're a CPA, go into tax accounting and do bookkeeping and
Real exciting stuff.
snooze, please. I'm bored of just even talking about it. So in the meantime, I go back, I visit my grandparents, they're in assisted living. She's got a fabulous place in Chicagoland Village, grand pianos, nice flowers. It doesn't even smell like old people. It smells really great. And I go back and visit and play their piano for her. And sure enough, I made the catastrophic mistake of, when you get the hugs and kisses and see you later, I got to go back to Vegas and have fun.
Right.
Is I tell my grandma, I love you, have fun. And she looked at me like I had three heads. Thank God she was a Christian woman and probably still is, I hope. But she looked at me and goes, fun?
Here.
Really? Have fun? Seriously? And
Right.
I'm like, it just shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
It shocked me. I just went looking around, and we're in that little, common little
Right, the
area
common
where everybody
room.
has their dining room, and the guy next to us is passed out on the table, and one guy's got oatmeal drooling, and you got the lady in the corner screaming,
That's
"Help
John.
me!"
That's John every day here in the studio.
Help
you know.
me.
I was just thinking, it looks like me when I wake up in the
Doesn't look
morning.
like So sure enough, I'm like, okay,
Right.
we're not having any fun here at all. So I felt about the size of a small ant,
Mm-hmm.
with little legs on the ant, and I started thinking, she's lived a great life. She has the money.
Right.
She could live in her own damn apartment.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, let's do something about this. So I always bring Grandma with me.
Show her to the camera.
You got Grandma Doris, who's now officially our founder of Legacy Home Care, because we basically built this company on her legacy.
Wow.
So that she could have fun. So, I come back to Vegas, and I'm thinking about business still, and I'm like, maybe I could do something, for my grandma, with something that celebrates her life and the life of, our family members that have Alzheimer's and dementia and have
Right.
issues just like everybody else's family. So sure enough, I come back, and in the meantime, I'm looking for franchises and people that can work with me to get me out of corporate America into something I'm more passionate about. And I talk to my grandma pretty regularly, and I call her this one time. She didn't answer, so I'm like, well, what's going on? Well, apparently she's in her walker heading down the hallway with, assistants. Your assisted living.
Right.
I'm thinking everybody has an assistant. Apparently it's not a one-to-one situation. So she's, of course, walking down with her, with her assistant next to her, and somebody yells, "Help me, help me."
Leaves your grandma.
It's protocol. They leave whatever they're doing, and they go help the person screaming the loudest. So they leave my grandma in the hallway, and what does she do? She loses her balance, falls, breaks her hip. I mean, she's 90, she's frail, I get it. You're going to break something when you fall, even though it's only 5 feet.
Right.
But sure enough, she ended up in rehab at the hospital.
Wow.
You get pneumonia when you go to the hospital. You always end up with something worse than when you came in.
Right.
So she didn't last more than 3 weeks. She passed away.
Wow.
Due to a fall. And I was just completely shocked. I mean, okay, I get it. She's 90, but hello, that's
no excuse.
That's no excuse. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, she should have had assistance. She should have been at her own
Right.
home where she wanted to be, in her surrounding. Her memory's already starting to fail, but certainly when you're in an area you're comfortable with, you're certainly going to live out a
Right.
much happier existence. And
And it is said if you're in much more familiar surroundings, more comfortable surroundings, how that goes forward to the healing process.
Absolutely,
So.
absolutely. Yeah, you've got your, and I think it's just because the family comes by,
Right.
and it's just really nice when you have close people
Sure.
with you, and it's a little different in Vegas because everybody's from somewhere else.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, I have a handful of friends that were born and raised here. I might be able to count them on both hands, maybe, but
That many?
they're all from somewhere else. So,
Right.
when we started this business, I was thinking, it's going to be people we know, people coming out of rehab or whatever it is. And I'm getting calls from across the country.
Wow.
They find us on the internet and they go, hey, my aunt lives in town. She's 85 and her husband's getting up there. He's 90. They still live in their house in Summerlin.
Wow.
Can they don't have any family in town, but they know they're at that point where they're not driving real well.
Right.
They need help.
They're dangerous on
Right.
the roads, even more dangerous than our normal drivers,
Right.
but they need a little extra help. So we created the Legacy to be the little extra help.
So the services that you provide are for in-home services. Let's
In
clarify
home,
that.
right? It's in their own home, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll come in, maybe they just need help getting out of bed. Maybe I need help with a shower, just in the mornings. I need little help getting out of bed, getting in my chair, get my clicker, get my coffee and my juice, whatever I need for the day. And then, come back later in the afternoon when I'm going back the other way. I want to go get my hair done or something like that. Or, I just need help after dinner. Help me put the stuff away, get dressed for bed and just undo everything and finish up my day.
I'm on the website, which is legacyinhomecare.com.
Legacy in Home Care.
Right. And if you click on the services tab, the full list of services here, and I'll just give the classifications: light housekeeping, light personal care, sleepover services, errands and transportation, and a whole slew of miscellaneous things. But one thing that I notice, and I'm going to anticipate what your answer is here, so I'll throw you the softball here.
I'm ready.
I notice no medicinal services.
Correct. Yeah, it's personal care is the official name. It's personal care agency, so it's non-medical.
Right.
It's people that read the directions
Right.
and go, hey, you're supposed to take 3 of these on an empty stomach twice a day.
Right.
And it's making sure that they're actually taking those on time
As prescribed.
As prescribed.
Sure.
I mean, it's a huge deal, especially the powerful medication people have nowadays. You don't have to be a nurse or a neurosurgeon to
Right.
go read the directions,
Right.
which is just as important. So, I mean, we don't handle the medication, but we certainly read the directions. We can go pick it up for you. We can, take you to your doctor, so maybe he has...
But you're not administering a needle.
We are not administrating.
Okay. Which makes it better for you in
Absolutely.
terms of what you can provide,
Right.
and also takes a lot of liability off of your plate.
True. And a lot of nursing care, or where they have nursing facilities,
Right.
or they have Medicare that pays for the nurse to come in. The nurse comes in for an hour,
Right.
does the blood pressure, does the medication, changes the colostomy bag, whatever the situation is that they need medically, and then they're gone. They're off to the next person,
Right.
whiz bang.
Because they're just doing the medical
They're just
side.
doing the medical. And so
Right.
the person's still sitting there going, oh, okay, I really need to use the restroom, or I need, it's just somebody to talk to.
Right. Company.
How about like meal preparation or
Right.
somebody-
Nurses don't do that, so
Yeah.
we certainly, that's what we do. We
That's what I
come
mean.
in.
You do that, and
Yep,
so
absolutely.
you
If they're
come
having
fix lunch or dinner. or
diabetic
something.
diets,
Yeah.
maybe have a special low salt or anything like that where we need to go in and get
Can
special.
I get a card?
food. Sure.
John just wants
We'll
that.
come right over, John.
John just wants that for everyday service.
Yeah, I was
so,
gonna
Say,
I like to have somebody
preferably-
cook my meal when I get home.
I want to just, again, one of the things that also all of this can provide is respite care, which is very critical to
Right.
caregivers.
I didn't even know what that was. A few
Sure.
years ago, I'm like, what's respite care? I'm like, oh, okay, 80% of people that have caregivers have family members that come in and take care of them 7
Right.
days a week.
Right.
And they don't have any vacation, any breaks. And really what we provide, and I've found a lot of programs are actually in Las Vegas that provide the money for the respite care. So they can actually have the state and the feds come in and help pay for that
Wow.
break. Maybe they just need to take a vacation or
Sure.
go attend to some other
Or just tend to their
things.
own doctor's
Just tend to
appointments
their
or
own
whatever.
appointments.
Yeah.
So we actually will do that as well. We'll come in and just do a short-term thing so their family members can take a break.
On the site, under the respite care tab, you have some interesting statistics here, and I just want to touch on a couple of them and get
Yeah.
your comments on it. Excuse me. Nearly a quarter of U.S. households are now involved in caring for an elderly family member or relative, spending an average of 20 hours a week in caregiving-related chores.
Right. And that's usually after work.
Right.
They're going into work, and then they go to their moms or their dads or their husbands, whoever's had that situation, and then spending the evening or the weekend with them,
Right.
taking them to their appointments, and they're seeing their needs and getting them taken care of. So
More-
it's a long day.
More than 60% of all family caregivers say they've suffered from depression.
Right. They're very isolated, extremely isolated. It's a never-ending task of taking care of, and certainly if they have Alzheimer's or a specific disease where there's a lot of laundry involved and there's cleaning up feces for no better reason other than they've lost their bowel control.
Wow.
It's exhausting.
Long-distance caregivers miss nearly 15 million days of work each year. What do you mean by long-distance caregivers? Somewhere where mom and dad is in state X
They're out of town.
and the family somewhere else, and they have to
Absolutely.
go in.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. We're in Vegas, they're in Michigan, or they're in California, or in Texas in some cases. We get a lot of calls from people that they live out of town, but their parents are in town.
Right. A significant decline in the number of family caregivers is occurring in the U.S., while at the same time, the demand for elderly care is increasing.
Certainly, yeah. The baby boomers are coming right around the corner. I went to a seminar today on baby boomer, retirement planning. What are we going to do with mom and dad who are now in their 80s, and the baby boomers are now 65? They all want to retire and go have a good time.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Welcome to Vegas. You're going to have a good time, but you're going to take mom with you, which is a good thing in this town because you got the Smith Center, you've got all kinds of stuff to go to on the Strip. You've got golf, tennis, swimming, hiking, and you name it. This is the best town, I think.
How can I pay for this?
There's a variety of different ways.
I mean, is there insurance coverage or Medicare or
some
Medicaid?
Folks have long-term care insurance. Right. So if you need help bathing and that type of thing, there's long-term care insurance. There's Medicaid does have vouchers.
Okay.
I was at a meeting a couple days ago. Actually, the state's actually freeing up more money and providing a higher service quality for the caregivers. Right now, they have a waiting list of about 500 vouchers.
Wow.
So it takes about 6 months for someone to get some of those Medicaid vouchers. So the state is actually trying to get more money to get
those
and
that's Medicaid.
And that's Medicaid.
What about Medicare?
Medicare is for medical situations.
Okay, just medical situations.
Just the nursing. Yep.
Okay.
Just the nursing. So there is money for that as well if you needed the nursing side of it. In the case where they're low income, there's groups like Helping Hands of Vegas Valley.
Right.
They provide basically free.
And if I go to your website, are those places listed where I might be able to find assistant?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they can always give us a call. We're at 702-564-2979. Again, you can just visit us on the website, www.legacyinhomecare.com, and we will hook you up. But there is just a variety of different ways you can pay for it. So even if you're low income, you've got that. One of my favorite stories is a veteran that lived here in the town, and he didn't have any idea that he was eligible for benefits, caregiving services, and really any of it. He was living in his friend's basement.
Wow.
When we got a hold of him.
Do we have somebody on the line or not?
Yeah, we do have somebody on the line. You asked for a definition of your thing.
We got it.
So, do you want to do the break first?
Let's go do the break first.
Okay, we can do that. All right. I will give you a second so you can choke some more, okay?
Yes, thank you.
We will try to find out the definition of what this affection that you have in your body or whatever.
Allergic bronchitis.
Okay, that's affliction. There you go. Okay.
Affliction.
Well, when we come back, we'll have more with what's going on here tonight. I don't know.
And find out, will Aaron need legacy in home?
Oh, my God, John Stiles. That is just, you can reach over there. You want me to smack him for you tonight?
No, only if Andy is the one that would come to my house would I take Legacy Home Care.
Andy, will you visit his?
I will absolutely visit.
All right, there we go. We got it settled. We come back more with Andy, and of course, weird news and all kinds of stuff, and somebody on the line to tell us what it's all about.
What the hell's the matter with this guy?
I don't know. We'll be back right after this, everybody.
All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. I understand my own version of Grey's Anatomy is on the line to answer my question about allergic bronchitis. A consult.
Professional
All right,
consult.
Mrs. Bobcat, tell me, what is allergic bronchitis?
Well, this is Dr. Gray.
Oh, Dr. Gray. I'm sorry. Yes, Meredith. Please tell me what is allergic bronchitis. Please.
Put your eyes back in your head,
well,
man.
Honey, what you've got is commonly called allergic asthma.
Allergic asthma.
Yes.
Okay.
Allergic bronchitis is also commonly called allergic asthma.
And
that means he's allergic to asthma?
No, the particular condition is triggered by an overly active immune system that attacks harmless foreign substances that enter your body. The symptoms are, have you been having some shortness of breath?
Not really, except for when I cough.
Okay, runny nose, rather swollen eyes,
No.
hyperventilation,
No.
See, I told you it was all BS.
tickling in your throat,
Sometimes.
tight chest,
No.
bad coughing,
Yes.
nausea.
No.
Okay, well, it looks like you
Have medical BS.
my prescription for you is to see if your doctor could possibly do an allergen test to see what allergen you are allergic to. They can do that test under the skin. I've had it done. It's not, it's okay.
Well, I have to go back I'm going to my primary next week, so they wanted me to follow up with my primary. So
Yeah.
I'll be doing
So
that next week.
Ask him about if there's any way that they, if he would be willing to do an allergen test so they can find out what triggers your symptoms of your allergic bronchitis.
Okay, I will do that. I thank you for the information, and we'll check it out next week when I go to my primary.
Thank you, doctor.
And please keep us posted, and we'll be talking to you soon.
I'll do the best. Thank you, Dr. Gray.
No problem.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. So,
So the allergic bronchitis was
Yes.
allergic asthma.
they didn't use the asthma word, but they did give me breathing treatments like I was an asthmatic. So,
Have you checked your household out?
It's funny you say that, and I don't want to take time away from Andy, but I'll just say this real quickly. I got out of the hospital Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Okay.
It's when I left the hospital. Got home about 5:45. As soon as I walked into my house, the coughing came back like I'd never gone to the hospital. So something is in my house that's causing the kick. So what I did was I turned the air. The air was on in my house just because it had got stuffy.
Right.
That night or that morning, I turned off the air. I changed the filter. This was yesterday morning. I changed the filter in the return.
Right.
Because that thing was nasty. Of course, I have 2 dogs. So I'm thinking and hoping that maybe it's only like the pet dander just caught me off guard for this reason, this time.
Or one of your dogs has brought something into the house.
That's possible, too. My dogs only go out to the patio area. They don't go out. They're not free-range dogs.
I know, but that is outside.
Yeah, no,
isn't it?
you're right. They could have brought something in that I caught. Plus, my wife was sick the week before.
Right.
So it could have just been a whole combination of everything.
Right.
But anyway.
That sounds
all right.
fun.
I know. It's, it is what it is. All right, so let's get back
You're
to
just
Andy.
getting old, man.
I know. That's what somebody said. I said, you know what? It sucks getting old in 2.5 years because the first 49 years of my life, I didn't have any of this crap.
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway, all right. So let's get back to Andy and Legacy Home Care. Andy is the owner and general manager of the Las Vegas operation of Legacy Home Care. All right. So we talked about some of the statistics that we find regarding needing care and things like that. So let's talk about, how do we know? What are some early signs to know if someone is ready and is in need of some sort of care?
Yeah, generally what we're trying to promote is that they get the care before there's a crisis. Certainly the falling is what I consider a crisis. So you're looking for like confusion.
Okay.
Their personal hygiene is starting to be off. There's odors.
Okay.
They're wearing the same clothes over and over again. They're forgetting what they're wearing. Incontinence sometimes becomes an issue because you can usually smell it.
Sure.
And you're going, okay,
Something's not right here.
Something's not quite right. And then you can look in the refrigerator, which is my favorite stuff to do. And you can do this kind of on the slide. You don't have to be super obvious and take a checklist and start looking at all their stuff. I mean, certainly you can hire us to come and do that. We'll do it for free.
Right.
And just make it all official. But you can do it on the slide. Look, is there dated stuff in the fridge that they're eating on accident? They don't realize because their taste buds are starting to lose their, what they're there for.
Right.
The food's becoming a lot more bland just because they can't taste it.
Right.
They're over salting things, so their body's, reacting.
Okay.
In some cases, if they're taking dialysis or they have another disease of sorts, sometimes a medication can throw you off.
Okay.
In my grandma's case, she would order stuff off of the TV. It's a vitamin. It's a vitamin for this. It's a vitamin for that.
Sure,
this
sure.
does this. This does that. And then you're taking your regular prescriptions, and this stuff doesn't mix.
Right.
So we actually do what's called a brown bag review.
Okay.
You scoop it all up in a brown bag, vitamins, whatever they're
whole
taking,
thing.
the whole enchilada. You take it to your pharmacist, and you go, okay, what does this do?
Right.
Are these, working close together, or are these not supposed to be close together?
Right. Right.
A lot of the stuff could be causing some of the balance issues. It's interacting with their dialysis medication or whatever they're taking. It's usually that type of situation. Why are they getting so loopy? They're forgetting things that are normal. In some cases where they used to write things down, now they don't write things down like they used to. Just their normal behavior.
So we're habits. So some of the normal habits.
Their normal habits
Right.
are already off.
Okay. But of course, let's clarify that.
Normal.
In order to, and I say this sort of tongue in cheek, in order to recognize if someone's habits of normalcy have changed, you have to be part of their lives on a regular basis to know what's normal and not.
Right, which was in the case of one of our clients, it was his neighbor that noticed things were off. His family's not here. His neighbor's the one who called us.
Wow.
And he said, you know what? The incontinence is obviously very odoriferous, and you could tell he's got stairs, and he's having a hard time getting up and down the stairs. And then apparently he went for groceries and had a fender bender.
Oh, wow.
So driving is usually
one of the first signs.
One of the first things that the senior or super senior in some cases, they're in their late 70s, they're going, you know, I had this little issue and I just can't quite see at night as good as I used to. And they start admitting to the driving more than anything. Right. Because it scares them.
Right.
I mean, driving in this town is nuts by itself.
That's true. That's
you got to have eyes in the back of your head. But in this case, it's usually some kind of minor fender bender that starts getting their attention. And then they're like, oh, you know, maybe we should have somebody just do that part.
Do you run across situations where maybe the family has asked you to come in and help out the family member, and the family member resents you being there, or has some
that's not been
negative
our
feedback?
That's really not been our experience.
Oh, good.
They're usually they'll
grateful.
fuss about it,
right?
But then when they joke, I don't need that. I'm not old. But then the alternative, when you start going, okay, the alternative is a nursing home or places they don't want to be.
Gotcha.
Then there's like, well, maybe I just need a little extra.
This little boost.
It's just a little tiny thing.
Right.
We'll just help you come in and do meals, or we'll come and take you to the doctor. Or in this gentleman's case, we took him to the VA. He had VA benefits. We'll go up there and sit for you for a couple hours, fill out the paperwork, do all this kind of stuff, and now he's getting checks for an extra $700 a month.
Cool.
On top of his aid and attendance for the caregivers to come in. So he's just the happiest camper right now because he's got extra money now for his food and is in a new place, so he no longer has to do the stairs.
Right.
And now he's got aid and attendance to pay for his housekeeping. We come in twice a week, 4 hours a day, do his laundry, his housekeeping, prep out his meals for the rest of the week, then take him to his doctor's appointments.
Hey, I'm starting to look forward to getting older here.
And the staff we have is phenomenal. I mean, they're all similar age, so they're retirees, generally speaking. They've been certified nursing assistants for years. A lot of them have Alzheimer's and dementia experience personally.
Right.
Because I'm looking, for our staff, not only do they have to be certified and background checked and drug screened, all that normal stuff.
Sure.
But I'm looking for somebody that's got personal experience in the field. They're just not rookies. I'm looking for somebody that's got that personal story.
Right.
So when we interview, it's, okay, why are you here?
The website is legacyinhomecare.com. If you have any questions or continued questions, you can call 702-564-2979. All right, before we wrap up here, we only have a couple of minutes left. We're kind of talking a lot of the doom and gloom and the negative side and the falls and the this and the that. Let's end this on a positive note. Let's talk about some of the success stories that you have with some of your clients, and let's share that. You know what? It sounds like it's doom and gloom, and it sounds like it's the end of the road and all this other stuff. But you know what? There are good things that'll come out of it. Let's share some of that.
Absolutely, yeah. For number one is people being in their own homes.
Okay.
They absolutely love it. Other than our senior with our veterans, he's just phenomenal. He's been going out to all people that he can think of that are veterans that don't know they have benefits.
Right.
So certainly the added income for them is phenomenal. So they're eating better. He's dressing better. We actually take them out to other events, Spotlight, Spectaculars, out twice a year. They have a big showcase. They bring in the Neil Diamonds and the Elvises, and they like to get out of their house.
Sure.
So some folks they're so strapped in cash, they don't have the cash for it. We find that ways for them to make it happen for them, and then we take them places.
Right.
We're like, we can go shopping, we can go get your hair done, we can go to the Smith Center. Certainly this town's got everything. So, our favorite things to do, we're starting to institute just fun Fridays. We have more things for people to do that they haven't tried in such a long time because they've been shut-ins more or less.
But they've forgotten.
They've forgotten what we have here. So we're like, hey, there's this an assisted living place like 3 blocks away. They got pianos. I love to play piano. I go, you like to go chit chat and shoot the breeze and play bingo or play pool? Some of these guys, they're like, sure. come on over. Let's go check out some of these great, independent living places. You can live independently and have somebody come and take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
You've got all these great people that you get to meet in town, and then you go do shows and movies, and it's just opened up a whole new world for some of these people that are just complete shut-ins. So
it gives them hope.
Absolutely.
And it gives them spirit. Brings their spirit back.
Absolutely. They have great stories. They may tell you the same story 3 times.
Hey, but it was good for them 3 times.
Hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm entertained, and I love to be entertained. That's probably why I live here. But we're trying to entertain our seniors so that they have the best possible lives in town.
702-564-2979 is the phone number, serving all of Clark County. The nice thing is you don't have to just be here in Vegas to contact them. Wherever it is that you're listening to this, if you have a loved one or family member here in Vegas, no matter where you're listening to us, get in touch with these folks. They can get into the home of your family and help them and give you peace of mind wherever it is that you are calling from and worrying about your family member. Legacy Home Care, legacyinhomecare.com is the website for all the information. I saw something on here that you do a free assessment.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it'll cost nothing for them to come in, meet with you and your family, and kind of see what's going on and what they can do to help your family member.
Definitely.
Andy, thank you for coming in.
My
It's
pleasure.
been fun. Look
Thanks
forward
so
to chatting again down the line with new
Absolutely.
programs, new news, and all kinds of stuff happening.
We'll keep you informed.
Look forward to it. Andi Graham from Legacy Home Care coming around the clubhouse turn. When we come back on the other side, it's weird news. It's been 2 weeks since I've done weird news.
Are you ready to go, big guy?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. We'll take this final break. Andy, thanks for stopping on. And of course, we'll get all the information up on our Facebook and everything else where you can get in touch with Andy and her group. We want to thank her for coming in. When we come back, we'll do the weird news. You're settling it in down, as he says, around the clubhouse turn. Aaron Phillips, John J. Peg Styles, the Bobcat, and my buddy Ricky Cash back home at the Cash Compound. We're back for the final break right after this.
All right, welcome back. Let's drum up the band for the part of the show that makes us realize that we're a lot better off in our lives than we think. All right, it's that time for Weird News. Unclear the concept is the category tonight, gentlemen and ladies. The Merit Systems Protection Board is, and according to the Washington Post, a personal court of last resort for federal employees unfairly punished by demotion or firing, which is just what happened to Timothy Korb needed when his federal agency suspended him in 2013, allegedly for revealing at a staff meeting that the agency's actual case backlog was much worse than it was letting on. Korb's employer, ironically, is the Merit Systems Protection Board, and in September of 2015, an administrative law judge upheld his claim of unfairness. Okay? Philosophy professor Anna Stubblefield from Rutgers Newark University was convicted of aggravated sexual assault against a severely disabled man she was discovered having sex with on the floor in a locked office.
Oh, not so.
But at trial in September, she testified that the man had consented and that the two were in love. The victim, 34, has cerebral palsy and other ailments, wears diapers, requires assistance for nearly all activities, is intellectually disabled, and does not speak, except for making noises, according to a brother. Stubblefield had been working with him on the controversial practice of facilitated communication, in which a facilitator reads a patient's mind via subtleties such as eye movement and articulates the words for him.
We need to get them on the show.
However, a jury failed to appreciate that facilitated concept and quickly convicted her. Shameless. Not that that wasn't. In rare bipartisan action, the U.S. Senate is preparing a bill to ban taxpayers' funds for those military salutes at sporting events. Teams, the legislators believe, already benefit from the fan-friendly staging of heartwarming patriotic displays. I mean, the Pentagon had paid out $5.4 million just to the NFL over the last 4 years. An NFL spokesman finally playing catch-up said in September, no one should be paid to honor our troops. Can't make this stuff up. Oh, here's a favor to Mr. Cash, least competent criminals.
Oh, yeah.
Not ready for prime time. It was 7:30 a.m. on October 8th that, according to Dallas police, Christopher Jones, age 18, and a buddy decided it would be Joy's Donut Shop that they would rob. As they exited the store, one carrying the shop's cash register, a uniformed off-duty officer, who apparently had pulled up to the store for donuts, saw the whole thing and arrested Jones, though his partner was able to flee.
Did he have glazed eyes?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
This is under I'm Demand. John Morgan, age 28, and Ashley Dubois, age 24, were charged in September with robbing the savings bank in Asheville, Ohio, with their apprehension made easier by Morgan's Facebook photos of himself rifling through and with a mouthful of his newly acquired stack of bills. A mixed stack, he wrote on Facebook, and describing his current elation. I got six bands bra. I'm doing real good.
Yeah.
Police were quick to find the Facebook page because Morgan was already on parole from a 2010 bank robbery. That's right. All right, this is a weird news of the classic, and this will be the last one as we wrap up. The Power of Love. This dates back to October of 2009. Before Arthur Horn met his future bride Lynette, who is a metaphysical healer, in 1988, he was a tenured professor at Colorado State and with a PhD in anthropology from Yale, teaching a mainstream course in human evolution. With Lynette's guidance, after a revealing week with her in California searching for Bigfoot, Horn resigned from Colorado State and began seeking to remedy his inadequate Ivy League education. Lecturing at a conference in Denver in September of 2009, Horn said he now realizes that humans evolved from an alien race of shape-shifting reptilians that continue to control civilization through secretive leaders. And that, folks, does it for an abridged version of Weird News. Mercifully, thank goodness, thank God.
Shades
Thank
of
God
L.
it's
Ron
back,
Hubbard.
man. I have missed weird news for so long.
I know. I'm so sorry. Andi Graham, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Want to also thank Elizabeth Jones for the Deacon Jones Foundation. Great interviews tonight. Great guests. Thank you, Dr. Gray, for calling in. We appreciate the update on the medical front. We got some great guests coming up for the month of November, so stay tuned to Facebook. We'll be posting them coming up. Please, 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 once again, I beg you, have a safe Halloween. Be safe. Watch for cars. Watch your kids. Do all the safe things, please. I don't want to hear about any horror stories or, God forbid, somebody gets hurt or kidnapped or whatever. Please, please, please be safe. And don't forget to change your clocks this weekend. We fall back 1 hour.
Real quickly out there,
Yes.
parents out there that got young kids, make sure that you keep your kids in a group. If you're tailing them with a car, stay off the cell phones. No texting. Watch your kids.
I also
okay?
recommend you stay off the sidewalks, too.
Yeah.
That would probably
Okay.
be a good thing. All right, so with that, I haven't done this in 2 weeks. Gentlemen, be kind to each other, and why is that?
We're all
we
we got.
have.
Have a great week from Vegas Unwrapped. We'll see you in November.